the new NanoScout Pro, a 65mm whoop aimed at intermediate pilots. Now the overall goal here is to make a fast and competitive drone without sacrificing the durability of this frame overall. Now the NanoScout Pro comes in two different versions, one as an analog drone with a 400mW VTX, as well as the HD version which I have right here with the HDZero VTX built into this 5-in-1 board. Now, as you can see, the two drones look very similar. I have the original right here on the left and the new Pro on the right. It looks very similar. They do have a same design here with this nice flexible ducts on here, but the obvious difference is the color change. We've now gone over to this nice gray color, giving this drone a little bit more character and a bit more pop with this overall. Now, having said that, let's weigh to see how much this one here weighs compared to the original NanoScout. Now, for reference, let's weigh the original. And the original weighs around 23.6 grams. And here's the new Pro, 22.3. So a gram or so lighter than the original version, although these are both the HDZero or the HD version here. Now, if you want to save even more weight, you can go to the analog version and save an additional 2 grams as well. Now, one of the major improvements to the Pro version here is the upgraded motors. These are now 702 motors, good for around 27,000 kV. That's going to give you a lot more punch and speed in the top end. Now, for reference, the older version was good for around 22,000 kV. Now, it wasn't the slowest drone in the market, but it could use a little bit more oomph, and this Pro model will give that to you. So we'll see how this one here flies overall. Now, besides that, the rest of the drone here remains the same as the original version. We're talking about the camera, the VTX, even the receiver, they're all the same on the Pro model here. You can think of this more like a slight upgrade or updated model from the original version. In fact, EMAX intends to replace the original with this Pro model and then discontinue this original version here. So there's really no penalty going from the original to the Pro. In fact, it's around a very similar price range as well. Enough about the specifications. How does this NanoScout here fly? Well, in short, it flies really well actually. Now, it really had a good foundation with the original NanoScout, and this one just kind of picks up from where it left off. Now, the weather for the past couple of days have been pretty bad, overcast skies with some windy weather between 10 and 15 miles an hour, and this thing handled like a champ, guys. Now, I did fly this original version just to get reacclimated to see how it flew compared to the Pro, and guys, it is significantly better and smoother. It just seems like a night and day difference in the two cameras, and it might be due to maybe the mount on the original or maybe a sensor in this original HDZero camera. But this one here is significantly faster and it just feels locked in. Now, from the time I took off, this thing felt like I had a lot more authority. Now, the rates on this might be the same as the original, but it just felt locked and never once did the flight controller freak out, especially in these windy conditions. These motors are amazing, and it's really good under recovery from aggressive maneuvers or doing a long sustained dives. Having said that, this drone here does dive very, very well, especially in the windy conditions here. This would be a very good drone for guerrilla whooping or long building dives. It's pretty impressive, and that's where these motors come into play on the recovery of those maneuvers. Now, as far as quick and aggressive maneuvers, this drone here responded very, very well. Never once did I have any washout or prop wash in those quick maneuvers. This would be a perfect drone for indoor racing or even flying in a small park or in your backyard. This thing just handles it very, very well. It's a pretty nice ripper overall. Now, talking about the capabilities and motors on this NanoScout Pro, let's talk about the flight times of this drone. Now, EMAX recommends the 320 milliamp hour 1S batteries. In fact, mine came with one here. I recommend you get more as well. This one has the EM 2.0 connector, which is on all their modern drones, and it did a pretty good job, no sagging at all. Now, EMAX said you can get around 2 minutes and 45 seconds of flight time when hovering. In my mixed flying, I did get around 2 minutes and 30 seconds of flight time. That's with my mixed flying, doing aggressive maneuvers, doing some cruising, some exploring. And actually, I was kind of surprised with that. To get 2.5 minutes is pretty impressive. Now, these are new batteries. Your performance may vary depending on how old your batteries are. Now, I also flew the drone as well with a 270 milliamp hour 1S battery. It's a little bit smaller, obviously, and the drone flew even better. Very agile. Obviously, it's lighter, but the battery times did suffer. I did have a flight time around 1 minute and 30 seconds. So although you might get better performance out of this, the flight times weren't there. I'd recommend probably this small battery here if you're doing an indoor race and your lap times are under 2 minutes. You can probably get a few laps out of it, but besides that, you might want to go with the 320 milliamp hour battery. Now, having said that, let's weight with both of them. All right, 22 grams, and with the battery, around 31.5 with the 320. And 30.1. So a gram and a half lighter with the smaller battery, which makes sense. Last but not least, let's talk about the visuals of the NanoScout Pro. Now, my version specifically comes with the HDZero VTX, as I said before, built into this 5-in-1 board on here. And if you can sacrifice the 2 grams, I would recommend the HDZero version. Now, over the past couple of weeks or months, I've been flying a lot of analog drones, and it's kind of refreshing to come back to something with a higher resolution, and this does fit the bill. Now, this drone here behaved as you would expect from any kind of HDZero VTX. Pretty good, clear resolution, low latency, consistent latency, with the occasional rainbow sprinkles in there when you get some low signals. Nothing unheard of a HDZero VTX. Now, I did fly all my flights at 25 milliwatts. It did a really good job. Obviously, I'm within line of sight. You can easily increase this to around 200 milliwatts and get even better reception, but I do think that will come at the sacrifice of flight time. As I said before, we got around 2 minutes and 30 seconds of flight time. I probably should have increased the power to 200 milliwatts, but traditionally HDZero VTX is kind of power hungry, so I would expect somewhere around the 2-minute mark or less with 200 milliwatts. I like the fact that we have the glue here on the UFL antenna here. I did crash this drone multiple times. Now, talking about that, this drone and camera here, it's pretty good. We'll talk about the durability right now. I did crash this drone multiple times, and one time I did have an incident where it did hit the canopy on the concrete, and it did actually scratch the focus ring on the camera on here, which is extremely close to the lens. Now, the lens here is still pretty good. It doesn't show any imperfections at all, but I do wish that this camera here was better protected in this canopy. It's nice that it is adjustable, so you can fly both indoors and outdoors, but it does stick out a little bit more. Maybe just having a little hood on this canopy would protect the camera a little bit better. But overall, no issues at all from this HDZero VTX. So overall, what do I think about the NanoScout Pro? Well, I do think they have a pretty good drone on their hands. It kind of picks up from where the original left, with some small and subtle but important improvements overall. This slight motor change on here, it really does make a big difference. It does wake up the drone. It feels more alert, more alive. And I'm sure if you increase the rates on this drone as well, it would feel even more snappy. This is a pretty good drone for indoor flying, guys. It is quick and fast enough. Really good. If you're going into whoop season, you want to fly indoors, race indoors, maybe do some flying in your backyard, I do think this 65mm drone is the way to go. Now, is it perfect? Not really. I do think that this could be just a little bit lighter. I wish there was some more protection on the hood here, but I'm sure EMAX and other manufacturers will address this in the future. Maybe make a lighter drone for really competitive racing. But overall, it's a pretty good drone. And as I said before, this will be replacing the original version. At the time of filming, they're both still available on their website, but this will eventually replace the original NanoScout. If you want something a little bit lighter, you can also get the analog version. You don't sacrifice latency, and you do get a little bit more flight time, around 4 minutes of flight time. Now, if you want links to both of these videos, including the full review, the full specifications of the NanoScout, I've done a full review on this one, and I'll leave it linked down below as well. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.